Howdy YouTube folks, this is your friendly old spirit of the bush wolf Wiccan coming at you. It is very humid where I live, I will add. Warm one, isn't it folks? Anyways, that's besides the point. I am doing a checklist and I'm going to overview with you the things I'm going to write down that need for my checklist, that I believe need for this radio. And we're back on the delco project that I had shown you previously, that I had picked up. As you can see, we'll need knobs. That's a given. You do want to go through these because they can sometimes fail, even though this one still spins like that. It has internal gears that can get worn out and stuff like this, if I remember right. Yeah, and ones like these. And of course, we'll flip this around to the back side here. Sorry if the camera's a little fuzzy. As you see here, this cord is not too bad, but this cord is just is imperative. It needs to be replaced, I think. And you can see in here that there's some worn wire, and those are going to get replaced. I'd like to find original rope cloth wires, not antique ones, but replica made ones. Now, I've heard about capacitors being recapped, but I think the best route for me, instead of having the capacitor rebuilt or recapped, because there are people that do that, would be just to replace them. So that's probably something I might just end up replacing it. I guess if I find somebody who will do them, I might send them away, depending on cost. If it's cheaper, maybe for just one. Normally, I just like to buy new ones. As you can see, something cracked on that, something pooed on that. Excuse my language. The bird. Wiring's all. We don't know what shape the speaker's in or how good the switch is for turning it on and off. You know, you can try to salvage these. Maybe these might still be reusable. I just think it'd be better to replace the glass capacitors in it. And of course, check this mag, this electronic mag here for it. And there's another one right tucked in behind there, capacitor, and that's kind of an overview. The tag is here. Of course, all of you who are big radio buffs would know that you can never know the exact date of a radio, no matter how you look at it. There are people that say you can, and I've always been a firm believer that they are wrong. They want to know the date, but I don't believe there's a way, because they never put a patent date on these. They put numbers of the cycles and volts, but they never had an actual patent date on these things. Like, some people say, well, this 50 to 60 could be the date, but no, that's actually the cycles. Just like it's a 55 watt. Then people go, well, model R1125, so it's made in 1925. That's not necessarily the case, because it could have been made in the 30s. And I believe technically this one's a 40s model, around the 40s model from what I've seen. But I don't believe anybody can date these. And I'm just going to state that out honestly. People can dispute that with me all they want. I mean, it'd be like me saying, okay, this number 78, which I already know is for the capacitor number, is the date that it was made, and it was made in 1978, and it looks older. So when I hear people say that, I just know for a fact that they're blowing smoke. And again, when I said 50 and 60 to 60 cycles as an example, that was just an example. I don't think people would necessarily get confused by those numbers, because you'd already know it's a cycle and that's a watts. But I was just using that as an example, how people try to pull stuff out of their hat. They'll take a number like that and say, oh, it was made in 1925. Anyways, enough of that rant. So that's basically the overview. And like I say, for anybody who's curious, I do not know the year of this radio. I'm going to say 40s, but I don't know the exact year of it. Again, like I told you, and that was just something I added in as a snippet for all those who are starting out on radios. And of course, all those who know that you just can never date these things. They have different numbers in them, but the numbers or for what the route, like sometimes they'll have a wire number in here, like a little paper thing with numbers for like the wiring routing, and that's what that is. It doesn't date, like a 11K model, something wiring that could mean the 11K model. Electric base here, that is like your motor base, your whole motor system, and your wiring route as to each number. And at first one I will recommend, because I thought I would add this in, sorry it's going to be a little longer, YouTubers, but if you're first starting into radios, you'll observe, like I said, there'll sometimes be a tag there. But I sometimes, like when I first started, I found it kind of a little difficult to decipher the tag. So for some people it might be a little difficult to decipher it. Looks like we added a spider friend in there. So just keep that in mind when you first work on them. You will find that you may not, until you fully, like, wire routings can be a little confusing with the diagrams, because they weren't detailed diagrams of the wiring. They're just regular drawn schematics. That's what most, especially back in these days, did, is just kind of like your plain Jane schematic, and we kind of just had to figure it out by shapes and whatnot. Anyways, this is an update on this radio, and sorry the video was longer. I added in a snippet that I thought I would just add in to help those first starting on them. And again, like I said, I don't know the date, but thank you, YouTubers, and have an excellent time wherever you are, whatever time it is, and remember to keep your heads up and stay strong. And thank you, YouTubers, for subscribing, those who have, to my channel, and because I don't think I have many subscribers and I'm trying to get more. And for those watching this and not subscribing yet, I would please appreciate it if you did. This is an educational channel I'm doing just to help people, and please subscribe, and of course like my channel and comment. Feel free to leave comments, your advice, anything you think that you know that I could use a little, like something you've observed a different way of doing it, or maybe you caught me accidentally misinterpreting how to do something. Please feel free to let me know, and I will correct that next time. I never call myself a master or an expert. I do know a few things about old radios and electronical devices to fix, but there could be something that I didn't exactly explain it the right way to do it specifically, and may have jumbled my instructions, so please feel free again to correct me. Sorry it's again long, and thank you, YouTubers, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.